Hi, I'm Miss Ball and I have a really fun art project for us to do today. But first, before we start, I wanted to show you some artwork by a Renaissance artist named Giuseppe Arcimboldo. So this will be our inspiration for the project. Let's take a look. Wow, what do you see? How do you think this portrait was made? Arcimboldo was an Italian Renaissance painter, so that means that he was alive in the 1500s, a very long time ago. This is one of his paintings called Verano, which means summer, and if you look closely, you'll notice that it's a portrait made of different fruits and vegetables. You can also see his name written in the clothing. When he was making these paintings, most painters were painting religious things, so these were thought of as very strange. Arcimboldo also made religious paintings, but he was most well known for these unusual portraits. And remember, a portrait is a picture of a person or an animal. The title of this painting is The Librarian, and Arcimboldo made a very interesting portrait using mostly books. La Primavera is the name of this painting, and if you look closely, you can see lots of plants and flowers that make up this portrait. La Primavera is Italian for the spring. In Arcimboldo's paintings, he would use natural objects like flowers or vegetables and even seafood to make some unusual looking faces. If you're interested in seeing the complete work of Arcimboldo, you can visit this website here and see every painting he's done. The project I have for you today is a found object portrait. So you won't need any art supplies really. Instead, you'll just need things that you have around your house. So some ideas are kitchen supplies, office supplies, anything that's small. You could even use some toys if you want, and maybe even food. So I'm going to show you how to do this, and let's make some art. When you're finding things to make your portrait, remember each face should have two eyes, a nose, and a mouth. And if you include eyebrows, you can give your face a lot of different kinds of expressions. Your portrait can be a person or an animal. I just found some office supplies in my desk that I used to make this portrait. And in this portrait, I'm using mainly just paper clips to make a face, and by moving them around, I can change what the face looks like. I could change the hairstyle, and I can make the person look sad or angry or happy. An expression my students really like is turn that frown upside down. If you create a face that you really like, stop and take a picture, or you could even trace the objects that you're using. If you use objects that are all the same color when you make your portrait, that can create unity. Unity means that everything looks good together and matches. If you took out a lot of things from your kitchen or from the desk, make sure you put everything back after you've made your portraits. You can also use food to make your portrait, just like Arcimboldo, but remember to wash your hands first. You might also plan on eating the portrait after you make it so that your food doesn't go to waste. Because I'm working with food for this portrait, instead of using a white piece of paper, I used a plate. If you're going to make a portrait with food, it helps to have lots of little pieces of food that you can move around and position to make the different features of your face. Here I have baby carrots, raisins, clementines, kidney beans, and a jalapeno pepper. If you're going to make a portrait out of food, set aside a special time to do that. I would not recommend making a food portrait during dinner time or meal time because most people think that it's pretty rude to play with your food. Most faces are symmetrical. Symmetrical means that both sides are the same. So if you want, when you're making your portrait, you can try to make both sides of your face the same. You can have a lot of fun with your portrait by giving it a funny mustache. What are some things that you think you might use to make your portrait? This kind of artwork is ephemeral, which means that it does not last. So you might want to take a picture so you can remember all of the faces you made. I hope you really enjoyed the project today. If you do this at home and you take some pictures, you can send them to me by email and I'll take a look. I would love to see your work and I hope you really enjoyed it. Bye-bye.